Hi everyone, Spiro here from Liakos Educational Media. It's time to talk poo, intestines, bowel cancer, and this test that can give you an early warning sign if you happen to develop bowel cancer. While anyone can get bowel cancer, you're far more likely to get it if you're over 50. So for the over 50s, the federal government in Australia has set up the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. So in the next few minutes, you're going to learn what the bowel does, what bowel cancer is, and how to do this very simple test. A word of warning though, this video will contain footage of poo. My poo.
Here it is, pixelated. But it's getting less and less pixelated. Warning, warning, click the back button now before it's too late. You've had your chance. Yuck.
Actually, it's probably exactly the same as your poo. So let's act like grown-ups, shall we?
Well, you started it, buddy.
Let's start with a science lesson.
This is a simplified diagram of the alimentary canal. We eat food and our saliva, our stomach juices and the juices in the small intestine break it all down into smaller molecules which are then absorbed into our blood. The undigested food passes into the large intestine, also called the colon, where all the extra water is reabsorbed back into the body. At the end, the undigested food and the various digestive chemicals and certain bacteria that live in our large intestine form poo, aka feces. The poo builds up in the rectum until it comes out of the anus when you go to the toilet. The small intestine, the large intestine, and the rectum are collectively called the bowel, or the bowels. Our bowels are lined with cells. Occasionally, an abnormal cell starts multiplying wildly to create a small mass of abnormal cells called a polyp. These polyps are usually harmless, but they can sometimes develop into a cancerous full-blown tumour which blocks the bowel, obviously not good, or some of the cells can migrate elsewhere and spread the cancer, not good either.
Bowel cancer causes more than 5,000 deaths per year in Australia, mostly amongst the over 50s. Now, since polyps and cancer cells stick out a little, then as the undigested food gets pushed through the bowel, they can bleed a little. So if your poo has blood in it, it's a sign that something may be wrong. Poo should not have any blood in it. The screening program looks for blood in your poo. The kit that gets sent out comes with an information booklet, an instruction leaflet, 2 collection tubes, 2 toilet liners, a Ziploc bag, some paperwork, and a reply paid envelope. Firstly, write your details onto one of the collection tubes.
Then do your wheeze so that you don't end up urinating onto your poo later.
Obviously, I don't need to show you that. I just thought I'd put in some sound effects.
After you've flushed the toilet, place the liner into the toilet bowl. Try to cover the water completely and push the liner down to the surface of the water. It's probably easier if you use both hands. You don't have to take a video and put it on YouTube or anything. What kind of a nutter would do that?
Then do your poos. I'm obviously not going to show you that either. Make sure that if you're wearing pants, you lower them first. It doesn't say that on the instruction leaflet.
Now open the collection tube by twisting the green lid and removing the collection stick. Now here we go again. Warning, warning, warning. You just scrape the tip of the collection stick over different areas of the poo so as to collect a tiny sample, about the size of a grain of rice, as it says in the instructions. Long grain or short grain, I hear you ask? No idea. Maybe go medium grain. I might never eat rice again. Now I did it bent over the bowl so I could film it. Oh no, I think I'm the nutter. But you can just stay seated, of course, and do it between your legs. You then put the stick back into the collection tube, click it shut, and give it a shake. When you're finished, just flush the toilet. The liners are biodegradable. You then put the collection tube into the padded Ziploc bag and place it in the fridge.
You then repeat the process next time you need to go to the toilet so that you end up with 2 different samples from 2 different bowel movements.
If for whatever reason a toilet liner ends up sinking, just use a heap of toilet paper. Works just as well. When you've collected 2 samples, fill out the forms and then send the samples and the forms to the lab in the reply paid envelope.
It's now been about 3 weeks and I've received a letter. Dear Spiros, results notification. Thank you for taking part in the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program and returning your test kit. We are pleased to advise that the result of your fecal occult blood test was negative. This means that no blood was found in your samples and no further action is needed for now. However, this does not mean that you do not have or can never develop bowel cancer, as some bowel cancers do not bleed or only bleed on and off. This is why it is important to screen every 2 years, and on it goes. If I had tested positive, then I would obviously have to consult a doctor. Now, you're far more likely to get bowel cancer if your diet is unhealthy and if you never exercise, but anyone can get it, and the test can give you an early warning sign of bowel cancer. It's really easy to do, so when you receive your kit, get onto it.
The instruction sheet gives only 4 examples of when not to do the test. During your period, if you're a woman, because obviously your poo may get contaminated with blood that hasn't come from your bowel, but from elsewhere. If you've got bleeding piles, aka hemorrhoids, see your doctor instead. If you ever see blood in your poo or urine, again see your doctor. And if you've had a recent colonoscopy and nothing abnormal was seen.
Hope your results come up negative. Thanks for watching.